Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Quantum GK. I'm your host, Donna Reyes. This month, we celebrate our 2-year anniversary. Can you believe that? Ako rin po hindi makapaniwala. I can't believe it either. We've been going live on Facebook for the past 2 years already. And we've guested some of your favorite Gawad Kalinga advocates and supporters here on Quantum GK. And tonight we have a very, very special episode for all of you. We have a public servant from Sulu and a long time Gawad Kalinga volunteer who will be joining us this evening. But before that, I wanted to share with you something that is going on in the Philippines right now. All right, let me just share my screen here. And hopefully you can see it. All right. Okay, so I hope that shows that is showing on your screen right now. So the 30 Southeast Asia Forum actually started yesterday, and Gawad Kalinga is one of the participants. So Gawad Kalinga is discussing the current challenges and potential policies that can help build an inclusive, robust, and regenerative food system. Ayan. So very exciting yan. It's going on from September 29th, 30th, and October 1st. So this is the entire weekend. Yan, kita nyo dyan, Gawad Kalinga is one of the participants. So for those of you who want to participate in that, just visit this page, 3zcforum.convergences.org. Ayan. Okay. So without further ado, we are going to start our program this evening. With us tonight is a public servant, also the focal person of the Sulu Provincial Task Force Ending Local Armed Conflict. Please welcome Noenyrie Asiri. I hope I pronounced your name right. Noni, nandiyan ka ba? You can go ahead and start your video and also unmute. Yan. Hi, Noni.
Good evening. Good evening, Donna. Thank you very much for inviting us to this special episode of your program.
Yes, you guys are very, very special. And our topic this evening is very, very special as well. Thank you for joining us, Noni. And also we have a long time Gawad Kalinga volunteer and advocate, and also the Gawad Kalinga Key Accounts Partnerships Manager, Joy Guillema. Joy? Yan, pwede na mag-unmute, Joy. You can unmute your line now and also turn on your video.
Okay, hello and good evening to you over there, Donna. Of course, magandang umaga mula sa GK headquarters here in Manila, in Mandaluyong specifically. And salam, kapatid na Noni over there in Sulu.
Ayan. Joy, naka-off pa rin yung camera mo ha. Ayan.
Okay. All right.
Sorry para makita natin ang iyong kagandahan. Welcome to Quantum GK. I did not realize both of you are first timers in Quantum GK. Although for the most part talaga, every episode namin bago yung mga guests, right? We always have new guests in Quantum GK. But also, sometimes, there were a couple of people who have been here before. I thought I could have sworn that Joy was here. Feeling ko talaga sisters tayo for life because I feel like we've talked, before, at least, via Zoom here on Quantum GK. Okay, so we're gonna go right ahead in what we want to talk about tonight. Ang springboard ng ating discussion is about the recent Sulu First Heroes Ultra Run, right? This was about a month ago, less than a month ago. Tama, August 31st ba yan? When that happened. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I didn't quite catch some of it, but I don't know, you were cutting in and out. I don't know if it's my connection or yours.
Oh, hopefully, lovely Dan is actually assisting us behind the scenes. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
it
But
was okay.
anyway, yeah. Right now I am very an early bird among all of us actually here in the headquarters, the GK headquarters, because um this headquarters is also um has also been envisioned to be the 000 house. So it is a first in the Philippines and I think in the world as well. Um, so a lot of organizations and partners are converging, have been converging since yesterday. Um, and this particular location is venue is envisioned to become a venue for collaboration among partners, especially working towards hello, salam, salam, misilip-silip. So towards a sustainable ecosystem. Of course, this is for everyone else. So right now we're starting. GK, Gawad Kalinga actually was one of the lead conveners. And there was a forum a month ago in France where we had a bigger venue and of course a bigger attendance. But this is a hybrid event, so it's also attended by other partners online. And we have interpreters in Bahasa, in Malay, and in Mandarin, I think, so that some of our guests will be able to understand. So yesterday, a lot of our partners flew in to Manila. So we're into our second day today. So yeah, we
Napaka
hope you can join us. The the 000 Facebook page. You will be able to register there for free so that you can join the conversations up until tomorrow.
Ayan. Ako, thank you for sharing that information with us. So it looks like this is something that everyone around the globe really can participate in since it's available on, we can access on Facebook. So let's go back to the Sulu's First Heroes Ultra Run event, no, that happened last month, right? In August. So this was organized by the Sulu Provincial Government Tourism Office to be exact, right? Through the Office of the Governor. Tama ba yan?
Tama po.
Okay, so I understand, Noni, you serve in the Sulu government also. No? So can you give us a background on how this came about? Paano nag-start itong First Heroes Ultra Run na ito and what was the idea behind it?
Alam niyo kasi, Donna, itong ano natin dito sa Sulu, beginning 2 years ago, unti-unti na tayong nakakadama ng pagbabago, no? Wala na yung gulo, naiba na yung sitwasyon natin dito sa Sulu. So because of that, what we are trying now is to sustain all the efforts for peace. Kaya we are very much happy na itong mga organizations at saka all light agencies, especially itong organization na galing sa GK, member po ako niyan, no, as a volunteer noon pa man. Kaya alam na alam ko yung mga advokasya nitong GK. Kaya noong nagkaroon ng pagkakataong pumasok yung GK dito sa atin, especially dito sa ultramarathon, natutuwa po talaga kami. Because itong ultramarathon na ginawa nitong GK in partnership with the Sulu Provincial Government, especially through the Sulu Provincial Tourism Office and also other partners agencies like the security sector, siyempre kailangan pa rin natin ng seguridad. Although nadadama natin ng pagbabago, meron na tayong PISA ngayon, but then gusto pa rin natin makasigurado. Kaya ang pagkakaisa at pagtutulungan ng lahat ay naging resulta itong ultramarathon na ito. At ang ikinaganda dito, aming mga nakikinig, Donna at saka Ma'am Joy, no? Ay kinaganda dito, ang lahat ng proceeds na makukuha natin dito sa ultramarathon ay mapupunta sa isang balik-barangay community sa Budbunga, sa Talipaw, sa isang munisipyo sa probinsya ng Sulu na kung saan dati-rati ay merong mga kaguluhan. So dahil dito, yung tulong pinansyal na nabuo dulot nitong ultramarathon ay mapupunta talaga doon lahat. So, ibig sabihin, kami dito naman sa Sulu ay sa pangunguna ng aming provincial governor, of course, the chairman ng Sulu Provincial Task Force, ginagawa naman talaga namin ang lahat para matulungan itong mga nagsisibalik barangay. Alam nyo kasi, Donna, itong mga kababayan namin dito sa Sulu, dahil sa kaguluhan, kung saan-saan na lang sila nagpupunta. Iniiwanan nila ang kanilang mga lugar, iniiwanan nila ang kanilang mga bahay, ang kanilang mga ari-arian, ang kanilang mga pananim dahil sa mga kaguluhan na nadulot ng digmaan between the shall we say Abu Sayyaf group and etc. But because of this sustainment of all the peace effort, pinabalik na natin itong mga tao nila sa kagustuhan naman nila. Kami kasi Ma'am Donna, nakikinig sa hinaing ng ating mamamayan. Kaya nung sinabi nila, we want to go back to the community, we organize all our efforts in order to do that. So, nagtulong-tulungan po tayo, lahat ng ahensya ng gobyerno dito, pati na rin kayong mga NGO ay ina-accept namin na tumulong. Kaya nagpapasalamat po talaga kami sa GK. It's because itong ultramarathon ay hindi lamang nakapagpasigla ng turismo dito sa aming probinsya. Akalain mo ba naman galing sa iba't ibang dako ng kapuluan sa Pilipinas nagpunta dito para lang makilahok sa ultramarathon na ito. At binigay talaga nila ang lahat, yung time nila, yung energy nila, pati yung pera nila sa registration para lamang makatulong dito sa isang bayan sa Budbunga na magbalik barangay at mamuhay sila ulit ng tahimik at mapayapa sa kanilang mga lugar. Miss Donna.
Nice. So thank you for sharing that, Noni. So you mentioned that marami nag-participate from outside of Mindanao, right? So I understand si Joy is born in Mindanao but already based in Luzon, di ba? So nag-report sa headquarters, and I know, of course, you're one of the longtime volunteers of Gawad Kalinga and also hold a position or responsibility in Gawad Kalinga. Pero can you share with us, having spent your life now, having lived in Luzon outside of Mindanao for a while, can you share with us how the experience was for you participating in the Heroes Run, in his first Heroes Ultra Run? Hindi lang pala siya run or ordinary marathon, ultra marathon siya talaga. Kasi ginugol ko pa siya. I actually Googled it. 68.4 kilometers. For the benefit of us here in the US, that is 42.5 miles. Okay, so that's no easy feat. Kumbaga, talagang ultra talaga siya. I ran the Chicago Marathon 30 pounds ago. Matagal ng panahon. Back in 2007, I just turned 50, so you do the math, right? So I was still young at that time, but I thought like that was only 26.2 miles ang marathon namin dito. So 42.5 miles is ultra talaga, right? So how was that experience for you, Joy? To be a part of that, or to even be there in Sulu.
Yeah, before 2 years ago, during the pandemic, I started participating in a virtual run. Started off with just 1 kilometer, and then eventually I got to 50. So I was able to make it to 50. But for this specific, this is not actually my first time in Sulu. It was my second time. Before the pandemic, I was in Sulu for a youth camp. And then this is the second time. So that was like a month ago. But I had a couple of challenges because a month before I was due to go to Sulu, I got my second hit with COVID. Yeah, nakatake 2 ako sa COVID a month before I was due to go to Sulu. But anyway, I made it, and I was really happy that I was able to come back. The ultra marathon was actually intended to accommodate only 150 runners, but on the race day itself, more than 200 showed up.
Oh, wow.
And they were not, Yeah, hindi nga naka-register yung iba eh. Kasi our partners from the military, specifically yung 1101st Brigade under General Bokyo, syempre, they wanted to secure also the participants, and we only wanted to be able to manage 150. But yun nga, what happened was naging 200 plus siya on the race day itself. And you know what is interesting, Donna, to note that the oldest runner was 65 years old. And that
Wow.
was retired General Peralta, who used to be the commandant of the Philippine Military Academy.
Mhm.
He finished it in about 10 or 11 hours. And then the next one was a 63-year-old Tausug runner. He has been running a lot of races, so he's a long distance runner. And so there were a lot of stories behind it, really. And even our full-time workers came over to Sulu to run. As far as, people coming from Leyte, from Bukidnon, from Manila, from Zamboanga, from Iloilo, lahat yun. Some of them are really seasoned runners. And most of them are actually from the military service. So the one who made it first to the finish line, the 68 kilometers, imagine he was able to do it in just 6 hours. So that's like running 10 kilometers in 1 hour. Ganong kabilis siya. He was a scout ranger. And so women naman, may mga babae kasing sumali eh. So sa mga babae, scout ranger din na babae yung nanguna. But there are a lot of stories behind it, The race started at 2 a.m., 2 in the morning. So you could just imagine, sobrang dilim niyan sa ibang lugar, sobrang dilim. And for people to be running at that hour, like that would not have been possible like a couple of years ago. Natatakot ka talaga. Kasi hindi mo alam kung saan ka napapunta ako, may mag-aabang sa'yo dyan, o babarilin ka, o dudukutin ka, di ba? But you know what? The good thing about it is the feedback that we got from the runners really was like for every station, kasi every 5 kilometers may station eh. So it traversed through 6 or 7 towns. So Panamaw, Indanan, Talipao, Panglimaistino, Maimbong, which was the host, which was actually the starting and the finish point. Lahat yung mga municipalities noon, they organized their own stations. They had food in every station. They had medics. They had water. They had ice. And then along the way, may mga tao talaga cheering the runners on. So parang yung mga and the runners, hindi sila sanay na meron naggaganon sa kanila. Yung gaganon. Hindi sila sanay na ganon. Tapos aalukin sila ng pagkain. So ang nangyari, yung iba, they covered a longer time to run the race because yung iba talaga, pagdating sa station, nag-selfie sila. They wanted to take that opportunity. Nag-selfie sila, nagpahinga sila. Kung nakikain, nakipagchismisan pa sila dun sa mga nandun sa station. So, parang na siya, ang saya-saya. As in, it was not, you wouldn't feel like it was just a race that you wanted to finish. But it was a once in a lifetime opportunity. And at the end of the race, you know what, at the end of the race, they were like already looking forward to the next one. And the next one, by the way, is happening hopefully in February. So you should come over if you're running, Donna, but you don't really have to be a runner, Because ako, even if I registered, I didn't run. I just stayed on the sidelines. Kasi there were ang dami talaga sumali. So nag-volunteer, nag-service team na ako. Doon ako, pinili ko na maging service team. But,
alam mo, Joy, you brought memories of our own run here in Chicago back in 2007. Nga. There were only 50 of us. And I think out of the 50, only 2 are runners. And most of us, like there were quite a few senior citizens. 65 years old was our oldest. That was Tita Dali Bilyote. Hello, Tita Dali. Yeah, she was 65 years old. She's tall. She has long legs. She actually did better with time than me. Ako, I finished the 26.2 in like 6 hours and 59 minutes to be exact. And she was way better than me. And she's, at that time, I was only 35 years old. She's 30 years older than me and she did better. But, and then I recall also there were stations, they will offer you, they were offering food and, you know, and banana, ganyan, no? Pero kasi dito sa amin, Joy and Noni, it was, you know, there was no fear at all because, you know, this was, you know, in Chicago and it was sa city, di ba? Maraming ano. Pero so gusto ko lang bang i-discuss or ipag-usapan natin yung issue o yung maaaring maybe some people who came to Sulu for the first time, right? If there was any fear or any, you know, fear of, you know, safety, right? Now, kung safe ba sila o hindi, because, you know, that must be you know, that must be, I guess, a normal, if I may use that term, no, feeling for somebody who is not familiar with Sulu, lalo na siguro if a lot of people came from Luzon, right? So, were there any participants who, you know, who expressed that and hopefully changed, you know, they changed their impression? How was there any stories like that you can share with us? Siguro no,
Yes.
kilala na ano.
Marami talaga, Donna. Kasi as a matter of fact, we stayed in an inn there, right in the heart of Sulu. And the participants really moved around during their free time. Like, kasi they most of them arrived before the race day. So they were able to move around Holo without being told not to go around.
Right.
They just stayed, no? Nagkape sila, naghanap sila ng kung ano-ano. And then they took selfies to sa provincial capital.
So nagulat ba sila na ganun ka-safe? Were they surprised? They were.
Umikot sila on their own without, you know, anybody, nobody at you know, watching their back. Wala. Sila lang. Yeah. They did.
Ikaw,
So,
no? As being, you know, having lived in Sulu, was it all your life you've lived in Sulu? Or dyan ka mostly based sa Sulu? Okay. So ikaw,
all of my life, really, Donna.
Dito,
All
dyan
of
sa
my life
Sulu,
really,
okay.
Donna, is spent here in Sulu.
Okay.
Ayoko
So,
rin naman
curious
talagang
lang ako.
pumunta sa ibang mga lugar, di ba?
So curious lang ako kasi palagi pinag-uusapan, di ba? How, you know, how people who are not from Sulu, right? Maybe our Christian, you know, brothers and sisters, how they, you know, some are fearful to go to Sulu. Ano naman ang impression ng mga, you know, mga kapatid nating Muslim sa mga, you know, sa mga hindi taga Sulu? Is that, you know, curious lang ako, ano ba yung impression?
Maybe Donna, it's all about media, yung pinapalakas ng media ang mga imahe na hindi naman talaga tama, di ba? So ngayon, i-correct natin yan. Kaya nga, magandang pagkakataon talaga. This is really a good opportunity for this ultra run to happen. Kasi nag-iba talaga yung paningin o pananaw ng ibang tao dito sa Sulu. Kami dito sa Sulu dati doon na sa totoo lang talaga. Natatakot din naman talaga kami magpunta sa kung saan-saan na lugar na hindi pwedeng puntahan. Nakalimutan kanina sabihin ni Ma'am Joy kanina, ni Ate Joy, yung patikol na kasama doon sa dinaanan ng ating ultra run. 7 municipalities yung dinaanan ng ultra run natin, 68.4. Yung patikol, yan yung kadal ng kaguluhan dito. Pero ngayong ibang-iba talaga yung patikol sa mga araw na ito. Kaya ngayon, dahil sa pagbabago, within the span of 2 years, Donna, talagang iba na talaga. I can roam anywhere today na walang takot sa aking sarili. Kahit saan ako magpunta kasi iba na talaga. And then, to add to that, marami ng mga business establishment ang nangyayari, ang ginagawa. Pati yung mga beach resort namin dumadami, pati yung mga bundok ginagawa ng resort ng ating mga kababayan. So talagang nakikita natin hindi lamang mga malalaking mga businesses ang nag-sprout, pati yung mga maliliit. So siguro ito ay indikasyon lamang, kaya gusto namin ikwento ito at panatilihin because masaya yung mga ganitong nangyayari sa amin dito sa Sulu. Sana mapanatili natin ito sa pagkikipagtulungan ng lahat. So dito sa Sulu, Donna, masaya na kami na nag-iba na yung sitwasyon, wala nang kinatatakutan, we can go anywhere. with our families and friends. Wala na talaga. This Sulu is a different place now, Donna.
That's very encouraging and very inspiring. Kasi I remember the first and last actually so far time that I went to Mindanao, hindi naman sa Sulu, it was in Cotabato. I was part of a group who climbed Mount Apo. No, nakarating ako ng peak ng Mount Apo. It was so beautiful talaga. And my mother was a little bit apprehensive because, yung bang unknown di ba? Yung hindi ka kasi familiar, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
But yeah, I have to give it to my mom. So shout out to my mom, Anita Enriquez, who might be watching or will be watching this later on. Maski na meron siyang fear, right? Not fear, pero meron lang discomfort. She still allowed me to go, and I'm glad that na meron siya mapagpalayang pag-iisip, no, na para to give me that freedom to be able to go to Mindanao. But I remember there were a lot of a lot of talks about, oh, you have to be, you have to make sure that you're escorted, and so on and so forth. But as Joy was sharing, people went, around everywhere in Holo, everywhere in that area without having to be, escorted. So I guess my next question is, now that peace is, is in Sulu, right? And, and now that you're feeling more confident to invite people to visit Sulu, right? And after all this was organized by the Office of Tourism of the Sulu government, right? How do we sustain it? How can we also, I guess, contribute toward promoting, Sulu as something that is, that is a place to check out because it's not very peaceful. Joy or Noni, whoever wants to go first.
Tuloy-tuloy na yan. Tuloy-tuloy na yan, Ma'am Donna, yung mga effort natin na ganyan, because itong governor natin, Abdusakor Emtan, yung primary focus niya talaga sa pamamahala niya ngayong 3 taon ay sa peace and tourism. Kaya makakakita talaga tayo ng iba't ibang mga masasarap na mga putahe na kung saan yung peace at saka tourism ang iaahin talaga sa ating hapagkainan. Ito ay sa kadahilanan na na-appreciate na talaga natin ngayon ang kahalagahan ng pagkakaisa at pagtutulungan ng lahat para ma-achieve itong kung ano man yung goal natin, kung ano man yung gusto natin para sa Sulu.
And you, Joy, what would you add to that?
Sa akin, no, it's important na we remember that even it doesn't really have to be Sulu, even in places where there is conflict, everybody has to work together to be able to get to what we want to, where we want to go, which is to bring back the peace. And sa Sulu naman, people are doing that. But
Yes.
It's not just about Tausug. It's not just about the military being there. It's everybody coming there and helping out and saying, look, we can do something to bring that peace back to Sulu. We can do something. We can put in our share to be able to say that this is one of the best places to go. And you don't really have to go outside of the country to be able to do that. You just need to take that plane ride or that boat ride to be able to get here. As a matter of fact, alam mo ba, when we left, see the fast craft that stopped for years because business was not really doing good because of the conflict there in Sulu. They started scheduling trips. So yung boat ride that we took from Sulu, from Zamboanga to Jolo, which would normally take us about 10 hours, because of that fast craft, the trip will just take you 4 hours. So for a lot of people, that's really that's a good indication that anybody who wants to do business in Sulu can now do business in Sulu because it's safe. Otherwise, they would not put that business there. Diba?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's one of the indications that it's really safe now. And sustainability is about keeping the momentum.
Yes.
It's not just like doing it now because there's a race.
Yeah.
It's doing it and keeping it that way for the longest time, because that's what has eluded Sulu for the longest time.
Right.
Yun ang matagal na hinahangad ng Sulu for the longest time. And for us to be able to keep on doing that, we have to work together. We have to exert the efforts. Even if, if we just want to take a holiday, we want to choose to bring it to Siargao, we might as well just bring it to Sulu if we want to make a trip or keep at holiday. So yung mga ganyan, maliliit na bagay sa atin unconsciously, but that particular effort that we do is something that could mean a lot to the people of Sulu. That's why ako, although I'm from Mindanao, Sulu is almost like a second home to me, because pag nandun ka, when you experience it, it's totally different. When you see the people, when you hear, when you taste the food, when you experience sleeping in Sulu, when you experience riding in a military truck and going up to the mountains, alam mong dito nagpapatay, dito nagbabarilan. Parang tapos, nandun ka, and then you were able to return safely, parang may isip mo, bakit ba nila sinasabing delikado? Ba't pa sila natatakot eh? Ako, I made it eh.
Yeah.
Diba? Pero so, I think it's just really about people knowing that, hey, come on over. This is safe. Sulu is the best place to be. Ganon. And we have to keep talking about it. I think that's very important. We have to keep talking about it. So thank you for this opportunity, GKUSA, to be able to share our experience in Sulu. We look forward to seeing you in February.
Yeah. No, I love what you said, that it shouldn't be event-driven lang. No? It really is a journey, and we journey together as one Filipino. It doesn't lahat naman tayo Filipino, right? And so we really have to keep that in mind, no matter kung saan man tayong, kung saan man tayo nakatira o nanggaling, sa Pilipinas. Okay, I just want to read some of the comments here. Si Pipang Lau, heart. Gawad Kalinga Football, hello everyone. And then Maricel Villanueva says, GK built its first village in Sulu, in Patikul, more than a decade ago. At that time, during the build, participants were assigned 2 or 3 escorts. This time, they were allowed to explore without intense fear and lack of trust. Peace is truly possible with caring and sharing. Ayan, ganda naman. Thank you, Maricel, for sharing that. Also, Jam Zartiga also sends love, heart din daw. Ayan. So, we have a couple minutes here. Any final, message that you'd like to share to our audience here, specifically here sa GK USA? A lot of our Gawad Kalinga advocates, no, although they love the poor, they are all on board in ending poverty in the Philippines. Maybe, a lot of us are still not, not, I guess, are not exposed or do not know as much as, as maybe we need to know about Sulu. So any message or anything that you'd like to share, sort of wrap this up? Sige, Noni, mauna ka muna this time since Miss Joy just spoke.
Alam niyo kasi, Donna, yung sa datos ng ating Philippine Statistics Authority, yung Sulu ay pumapatak ng poverty incidence around 74.3%. Yun ay sinisikap nating ibahin yan. Sinisikap nating gawing pababain yung poverty incidence index na yan. So, dahil sa nangyayaring mga changes, pwede na nating magawa yan. So, ibig sabihin nito, hindi na kami yung magsasabi na you can come here, but itong mga tao na nagpupunta na dito sa Sulu, they can express, they can tell the people, they can tell the world na iban talaga dito and they can do business here easily. Yun ang gusto natin. Because kung sayang din naman yung mga lugar natin, yung lugar namin, ang gaganda ng lugar namin dito, tapos wala rin naman nagpupunta. Kaya nagpapasalamat talaga kami sa mga nagpupunta dito, and kung umaalis na sila, they they tell a different story. They tell a very inspiring story during their stay here. Yun ang pinakamaganda dito. Ipagpatuloy lang po natin yan at sa mga darating na panahon, talagang mapapabago natin yung lupa. So, sabi mo kanina, yung GK andito na 20 years ago sa kasagsagan pa ng giyera. So kaya itong GK talaga ay isang organisasyon na napakaganda. That's why I am encouraging all of our friends in GK USA and all around the world to continue help GK achieve their goals to end poverty and hunger in wherever they want to do it. Kasi nakikita natin ang ginagawa nila at may impact po ito. May impact po ito sa amin, specifically dito sa Sulu. And I really encourage you in behalf of the Sulu Provincial Government and all of us here in Sulu, supportahan po natin yung GK sa kailang mga adhikain. Kasi maganda po, mayroong nangyayari. At nakwento na nga sa inyo kanina ni Ate Joy, yung mga exciting or inspiring stories na ginagawa. So kagaya nga sa amin, sa personal ko naman, sa advocacy ko sa ganun din, kagaya ng GK for 2 years, for 2 years from now, for around 2 years already, gumagawa tayo ng little acts of kindness through the support of our Vice Governor, na anak din naman ng Governor natin. Itong acts of kindness na to ay trying to inspire people to work harder and to work smarter. Yung babangon sila araw-araw para may pakita nila ang kagandahan ng pagtatrabaho. So, ibig sabihin, pag makita yon ng ibang ating mga kababayan dito sa Sulu, na binigyan ng parangal yung tao na yon, it's because of his or her action to naibahin ng kanyang sitwasyon sa buhay, ay ma-inspire din sila na tularan yung nabigyan ng parangal ng aming Vice Gobernador. So nag-handle po tayo ng programang iyon to help alleviate poverty kasi nga sabi ko kanina 74.3 sa 2018 data. We are hoping na pag mag-update na yung data ng Philippine Statistics Authority regarding sa poverty incidence dito sa Pinas, specifically dito sa Sulu, ay bababa na siya ng konti. Because nakikita naman natin, lahat ay nagtatrabaho na ngayon. Lahat ay gumagawa na ng kanilang mga gawain sa pang-araw-araw para matustusan ang kanilang mga anak at para na rin magbago ang kanilang buhay. So, siguro doon I would like to plug in our page, yung Vision Great ni VG Tototan. Paki-like po na rin para ma-inspire pa natin lalo yung ating mga kababayan, especially dito sa Sulu, na ibahin ang sitwasyon ng kalabuhay gamit ng kanilang sariling pagpupunyagi at kakayahan. So, once again, sa supporters and likers of the GK USA, always find time to support this organization because this organization is really doing their best to promote peace and to end hunger and poverty, especially here in Sulu. Maraming salamat po, Donna and Ate Joy.
Maraming salamat, Noni. Ito, may sagot na kagad si Maricel Guillema. She said, siguradong magpaplano na si Tita Josie. That is Tita Josie Disterhoff, who's actually based here in Chicago. Sulu has a special place in her and her husband John's heart. And so we are actually doing things for Mindanao, for North Cotabato, but also I'm pretty sure this is going to stir some ideas also specifically for Sulu. Ayan. Salamat, Noenyrie. Sabi niya, tama ka. Nakakahawa.
Thank you. Mayroon lang akong idadagdag ng konti.
Yes po.
Oh, salamat ulit kay John kanina, no, for the special place of Sulu in his heart. Sana tuloy-tuloy lang 'yan, no. Ang ano ko lang, sasabihin ko lang ngayon doon na natutuwa ko because of this activity. Merong 4W TV, yung 4-wheel drive na gusto ring mag-promote dito sa Sulu. So natutuwa kami na sana mag-materialize ito, yung gagawin nilang tutulong din ito sa pagpapalago ng ating turismo because kung aware kayo sa 4W TV galing yan sa Australia, gusto nilang maglagay ng event dito sa atin. So to showcase the 4-wheel drive na mga sasakyan at to explore din ng itong unexplored Sulu. Kaya natutuwa ako, sana ipag-pray natin na matuloy yan So ibig sabihin, hindi na lang ultramarathon lamang yung mga gagawin natin dito, pati mga ibang event na natuluyan ng i-indicate na talagang ibang-iba na talagang Sulu ngayon. Kaya nitong for WTV na nag-indicate ng kailang intent na magkaroon ng ganong event dito sa amin dito sa Sulu. Po, yun lamang po.
Yan, maraming salamat, Noni. Joy, last words?
Yeah, I would just like to share a very, very quick story. When we went over to Parang, we went to a kitchen in Batuitum, and we met Noni's mother there. We were telling her na that was Mark Cruz and myself and Clips was the area team lead for Sulu. We were looking into the possibilities of increasing kasi yung mga bata doon sa center na yon, it was just a small parang daycare center yata yun noon yan, no? Oo. Merong bata doon na naliligo lang siya pag merong feeding. Yung bata yon. And nakakatuwa lalo kasi yung feeding once a week lang, Sunday lang. So Sunday lang siya talaga naliligo. So she was there when we went there, and sinabi namin na gagawin na nating araw-araw yung feeding. So talagang sobrang tuwa ng mother ni, kasi one of the volunteers yung mother ni Noni talagang niyakap niya kami, tapos talagang nagpe-praise talaga sila, yung mga nanay doon na nakaharap namin. Sobrang natutuwa sila na, tapos yung lutuan nila was just kahoy lang kahoy, tapos sinabihan sila na, Mark, gusto niya palitan namin yan ng gasol. So sana it would be a lot easier for them. Pero when you look at these people, especially when you go on ground, these are the stories, these are the untold stories and the narratives that we want to be able to share with the people, with the world, and tell them that this is the impact of how you can help. When you help, this is how it will impact the people who are on the receiving end of your help. So parang yung ngiti, yung tuwa, yung saya, yung yakap, yun ang hindi mapapalitan ng anumang tulong na ibibigay. In fact, it's actually more the reward. So sa Gawad Kalinga, what we actually really want to do in Sulu is we are building that culture. It's not a culture of Christianity, but it's a culture of caring and sharing. That's what we want to show the people of Sulu. And yung presence natin dun mismo sa Sulu is proof enough that is what we're wanting to do. And we're staying there for as long as we are needed, and until the last person is fed or the first child is fed, we will not be leaving Sulu. So yun nga, katulad ng core value ng GK yon, sigaw ng GK yon, walang iwanan, no one left behind. So come February, I would like to invite all of you to join us in Sulu. Inshallah. Inshallah means God willing. We will be there and we will see you there. And together,
Yes,
we will work towards peace in Sulu so that everybody can say peace has finally come. So maraming salamat for this day. Donna, thank you for this chance. We would have loved to have told you a lot of other stories, but I think the best way for you to do that is to come over here with Tita Josie, and I've been asking Ate Maricel as well to join me. She's already gone to Maguindanao, she's already gone to Dinagat, so I guess it's time for her to come to Sulu. You should too.
Well,
Thank you.
maraming salamat. Just key takeaways from Noni and Joy's final message. First, is that this isn't a one-time event. It's a journey that we're going to journey together, and that this act of kindness, right? Yung kabutihan, sabi nga ni Maricel, ay nakakahawa. Yan ang antidote natin to violence, right? Is to just be kind. simple act of kindness, right? And then, like Joy said, this isn't a culture of, Cristiano or Muslim or even Lumad, or whatever other, subcultures in the Philippines. The culture really is caring and sharing, right? To those people who are really in need, and even amongst us, right? Amongst all of us in our Gawad Kalinga community. So on that note, thank you again, Noni and Joy, for joining us this evening. Thanks everyone for joining us in another episode of Kwentong GK. Please make it a habit. Watch out for our next episode next month, last Thursday of October. Good night, everyone.
Good
Bye.
night, Donna. Thank you. Happy Friday, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you,
Thank
Noni.
you.
Magsukol.
Thank
By
you,
the way,
Ate
Donna,
Joy.
it's magsukol. Thank you.
Magsukol. Thank you.
Yes.
Magsukol.
Thank you. Bye-bye.